The rain was falling in thin, icy sheets over Genoa City, one of those nights where even the streetlights seemed nervous. Sharon Newman felt it the moment she stepped out of Crimson Lights and turned the key in the lock. Something was coming. Something dark. Something she'd prayed was gone forever. Inside, the cafe lights flickered once before settling, but Sharon still glanced over her shoulder. She'd been on edge ever since Noah's strange encounter behind the jazz lounge, a shadowy figure, a voice he swore he recognized but couldn't place. He had described it as familiar, chilling, and unfinished. Sharon knew exactly what unfinished felt like. She took a breath and walked toward her car, but halfway there she stopped. A silhouette moved across the far end of the lot, gliding more than walking. Her pulse spiked. The figure paused under the dim halo of a lamp, revealing only the hard line of a jaw and the glint of eyes that weren't just watching, calculating. "Matt," she whispered, though her brain screamed at her for even entertaining the possibility. Matt Clark was dead, again. At least he was supposed to be. But if life in Genoa City had taught Sharon anything, it was never assume the dead stay buried. Across town, Noah Newman slammed the door of society's back office shut and leaned against it, catching his breath. His hands shook uncontrollably. He told himself he was overreacting. The shadow, the whisper, the footsteps, maybe they were nothing. But that voice, had reached into his memory and dragged up stories he'd only heard from his mother. Stories of a monster who'd once set out to destroy the Newmans, starting with Sharon. Mitch, Matt, whoever he was now, he wasn't after Noah. Noah was just the bait. Noah fumbled for his phone and dialed one name. Mom. It rang once, twice. No answer. "Come on, Mom," he muttered, scrambling for his keys. "Please don't be alone." Sharon finally reached her car and sat inside, trying to slow her heartbeat. She told herself she imagined the figure. Her mind had been playing tricks ever since rumors began circulating, rumors of someone impersonating key figures in town, someone with a talent for being unseen until the exact wrong moment. Someone who knew the Newmans, knew her. She turned the ignition, but before she could shift the car into drive, her passenger door clicked open. Sharon froze. The door creaked, slow and deliberate. A hand slid across the interior, followed by a face she hadn't seen in decades, yet could never forget. But it wasn't exactly Matt Clark. It was him and not him, a crueler version. Older, colder. A face rebuilt and refined, yet unmistakably tied to the nightmare of her youth. "Evening, Sharon," he murmured, voice slick as oil. "Miss me?" Her throat tightened. "You're dead." "You keep saying that," he replied with a smile that chilled her to bone. "But I keep disappointing you." Sharon reached for her purse, where she kept pepper spray, but he caught her wrist midair, fingers like a vice. Now, he said. "We're just catching up." "Let go of me," she snapped, pulling back with surprising strength. He sat back, gaze sharp and amused. "There she is. The fire. You didn't have that back then, Sharon. Trauma will do that to a person." Her stomach churned. "If you lay a hand on my son." "Your son," he interrupted, leaning closer. "Sharon, I don't care about Noah. He's just a Newman. You know how I feel about Newmans." Her heart dropped. "Then who?" "You," he said simply. "It's always been you." At that moment, Nick Newman barreled into the parking lot, tires screeching. Noah had called him after failing to reach Sharon, and Nick's instincts told him exactly where she'd be. He threw the truck into park and sprinted toward her car. Inside, Sharon saw movement and nearly burst into tears of relief. Nick. Matt/Mitch saw him too. "Tusk," he sighed. "They always ruin my moments with you." He leaned in one final time. "But don't worry, this isn't over. The past never stays buried in Genoa City, especially not our past." Then he slipped out of the car with the ghost-like ease of someone who had rehearsed disappearing for decades. By the time Nick reached the door, flinging it open, Mitch/Matt was already gone, melted into the shadows he came from. "Sharon," Nick grabbed her shoulders. "Are you hurt?" She shook her head, though she was visibly trembling. "He's back, Nick. He's really back." Nick blinked. "Who?" Matt Clark, she whispered, or whatever version of him this is now. Noah arrived seconds later, breathless and wide-eyed. Mom. Sharon pulled him into her arms. I'm okay. But Noah didn't believe her. Not fully. He'd seen the terror in her eyes, the kind he only heard about in stories of her darkest days. Nick turned toward the empty lot. He won't get near you again, either of you. I'll handle this. But Sharon grabbed his arm. Nick, you don't understand. This isn't just revenge. He said he has a past with me, a past I don't even know about. Nick stiffened. What does that mean? I don't know, Sharon whispered, staring into the shadows where Mitch/Matt had disappeared. But whatever he wants, it started years ago, and he's not just going after Noah. Nick, he's coming for all of us. Across town, the man himself watched from a rooftop across the street, a predator assessing prey. The storm soaked his clothes, but he didn't move. Round one, he murmured, slipping a small, worn photograph from his pocket. Sharon's face, young, terrified, stared back at him from the faded print.